Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. This week's top 10 list was requested by Gina R. So I'm going to put Gina's link down below. Make sure to check out Gina's page. Gina is such a sweetheart. She does coins, she does currency. I've watched just about every video she puts out. I comment on most of the currency videos that she has. If you haven't subscribed to Gina, please check her out. She suggested this week's list, which is the top 10 books that I use for reference. Now, I have done a similar video to this in the past. However, I have upgraded many of my books, so let's get into my new top 10. Number 10. Still have this one here. This is the official Black Book Price Guide to United States Paper Money. This was one of the earlier books I had. You can see it's 2015. Now, this book was interesting, and when I first got it, I used it, as you can see, as a checklist because of the way that it was written. It's not full color, but it does have pictures front and back of everything. The prices, of course, are outdated, but the first portion of this book is just loaded with all kinds of info. Those are the different clubs, just so many different things that you can read up on, just helping learn about the particular hobby. Yeah, like I said, it does have prices, but the prices will just just show you which notes are worth more. You can't really take their price for what they are, but you can tell which notes are worth more. Fun book to read, one of the first ones that I had. It's a very easy handheld book to have. So that's number 10 on my list, the official Black Book Price Guide to United States Paper Money. Number 9, another full color book. This one is called United States Currency, large, small, fractional notes in there. Another one of the earlier books that I got, because this book was full color. You want to see what all the notes look like in full color? Here you go, front and back, full color examples of everything. It also is a price guide, but once again, you're talking dated material as far as the prices go, so take that with a grain of salt. But if you want to learn about the notes and see full color images of them, this is a book to get. I don't think it's been updated anytime recently, but still, it's a small size book featuring all the different types of notes, and yeah, it's handy, it's easy to carry around. You can see updated 5th edition, hundreds of color photos, and it's got one of my favorite notes on the front, the Technicolor $20 gold certificate. That's number 9. This was an official Whitman guidebook, United States Currency. Number 9 on my list. Number 8. Number 8, we are going with one of the big ones. Let's see if I can't get this thing in here a little bit better. What do I have here? This is World Paper Money. This particular one is 10th edition. I'm not even sure what edition they're on here, what edition they're currently on, but this particular one is volume 3. And this features modern issues of World Paper Money from 1961 to date. And I think this was still put out sometime in the 90s. So if you have foreign currency and you wanted to know where it's from, here is your guidebook. It's not in color, but that doesn't make this any less valuable. It lets you see general ideas on prices. Once again, I'm not going to be buying or selling based on what this book says, because it is kind of dated. But to have this much information on foreign currency at your disposal, it's a huge help. Most of the time you can find these books at your LCS. They update them every once in a while. You also have collectors who will sell these back. And I think I paid like $6, $7 for this book. You know, like I said, it is outdated, but that doesn't mean that the information on the pages is outdated. That's still what this $1,000 note looks like from Brazil. So, yeah, just to have stuff like that is pretty helpful. So that is number 8 on my list. Volume 3, World Paper Money, Modern Issues from 1961 to date. Number 7, we are going with World Paper Money, Volume 2, General Issues. The first book that I just showed was also General Issues. This particular book, if I recall, let's see, where does it say? This is the old stuff. This is the stuff prior to 1961. I want to say it's like 14, here it is, 1368 to 1960. Yeah, there's paper money from 1368 in this particular book. So yeah, I'm sure you're a little curious as to what's in this one as well. Now, once again, inside it looks a lot like the previous book, but you are talking about notes that are much, much older. So if you want to get into some historic notes, this is the book for you. Now, once again, I picked this one up used, and it is outdated. I got it for probably $5, $6, $7. It's just sitting behind the counter and taking up space. I've watched my LCS pick up numerous copies of this from people who are just selling their collections out. Once again, to have one of these, this is volume 2. This is from 1368 to 1960, and then the next one was 1961 to present. So you kind of want to have both of those. So that's number 7 on my list. Number 6 looks kind of familiar, but this is the Specialized Issues, World Paper Money. Now, once again, these 3 books combined, you can see the price on this particular one was like $10. I think I paid maybe $20 for all 3 of these books. So these are the special issues for world currency. With these 3 books, you pretty much don't have to buy any world currency books ever again. You've got all of it covered. One of the things, let me just pop this back just so you guys understand how thick of a book this is. Here, this is page 1237. Okay, that's how thick these books are. So you have tons and tons of information on all kinds of different notes. Like I said, they're not full color, but you don't really need full color notes, full color pictures in these because of the amount of info you're getting. If you stumble across a foreign note and you're not quite sure where it's from, you are able to use the clues on the note to start piecing this stuff together. So that is the Specialized Issues of World Paper Currency. That would be the 3rd volume of those, and that is number 6 on my list. 10, 9, 8, 7, 10. How did I do that? 10, 9, 8, 7. Yep, that was number 6. Number 5, as I'm moving all this stuff around. Number 5 is A Collector's Guide to Postage and Fractional Currency. You guys have seen me do all kinds of stuff on fractional currency, and this was the book that was dedicated specifically to fractionals and to postal currency. They talk about experimental notes in here. They talk about specimen notes, and they also go into the variations of each and every single note, because there are quite a few. Front with narrow margins, front with wide margins, back with narrow, back with wide. You know, every single note has so many different variations. It is full color, which is very helpful when you're going through all this stuff. And look at this. Look at all of the prices. I mean, the prices are probably a little dated, but what's more important is all the variations. And it does go into, you can see what to look for on each of the variations. You can see the FR numbers here. So a very, very helpful book when it comes to trying to discern what fractional currencies you may have and which variation it is. That is Robert J. Kravitz, A Collector's Guide to Postage and Fractional Currency. So that is number 5 in my list. Number 4. Number 4, we're going with small size U.S. paper money, 1928 to date. If you've got small size currency, small head currency, this is the book for you. This book will tell you print runs. It'll tell you how high they printed each denomination, how high each serial number goes. It'll let you know about star notes. It'll let you know about mules, what notes are available as mules. It's not in color, but then again, there's not a whole lot of color to be had on a lot of these notes. These are all the small sized or small head notes that, you know, that would be the way to call them. Now, it does show on the cover the different colored seals. It does show on the back the different colors of ink, the different green colors that you're going to find on these as well. It's kind of interesting. 1928 dark green, 1928 light yellow, which yellow green, 1934 lime green, they still call that light yellow, and then the 1934 dark, the blue green. So you can see the different colors on those particular notes. You can see the different color seals that they used here. Just another great note to have. Standard Guide to Small Size U.S. Paper Money, 1928 to date. This is the 10th edition. I believe this is the newest edition of the book that's out there. Once again, the prices that are in here, don't go by those prices because it is a little dated, but still interesting to see what is short printed and what notes people think are actually worth more than face value. So that is number 4 on my list. Number 3. National banknotes. You guys have seen me with this every time I have a national. This is a full color book on national notes. I say full color. There's a couple pages in color in the front so you can see exactly what the nationals are. But the vast majority of this book is going to be the tables. And when I say the tables, these. There are roughly 15,000 different banks that are covered in this book, and every single one of them, it tells you how many notes were published, how many different different denominations there were, how many notes per sheet, what the numbers went to, the approximate issuing number, the approximate number of notes that are still unaccounted for. Just so much metadata for nationals in this particular book. You can look through this book and spend hours just analyzing different things, different sheet runs and print runs, and obviously the names, the different national bank names that you can find on there. Just so much interesting stuff on this. That is the National Banknote 6th edition by Don C. Kelly. That is number 3 on my list. Number 2, I'm going with the green sheet. The green sheet is basically a wholesale price guide. A single copy of green sheet sells for about $15. And green sheet, this one is a little bit older. This is from June of last year, but it takes care of all the different notes. There's military payment certificates right there. You can see all the different categories of grades as well. That's in green sheet. So these are pretty much the wholesale price. This is what a lot of your LCSs are going to look at when they go to buy notes from the public. So if you want to know basically the buying price, that's pretty much it, the green sheet right there. You can pick one up for, like I said, $15. You can subscribe and have one come to your door every month. I think it ends up being $10 a month if you do it that way. Or you can check with your LCS and see if they'll sell you one of their older ones for a few bucks. That's number 2 on my list, the green sheet. So what's number 1? Of course, the new edition, Paper Money of the United States Complete Illustrated Guide with Valuations. This is the Freeburg book. Freeburg's numbered all of the notes, and that is the catalog number that everybody uses. If everybody on the planet wants to use Freeburg numbers to catalog the notes, then you should be using the Freeburg book to determine anything you need to know about notes. Full color, pictures of just about every note in here, front and back, values in numerous grades. You get to see all the signature combinations. It is just, I don't want to call it a priceless thing, but I use this every time I buy a note. I've got this book handy. There is so much information in here. This just came out. This hit my doorstep Tuesday. That's how fresh this particular one is. Even with that being said, the prices on here were pretty much from last year, because then they had to actually print the book, and you'll know that a lot of prices have skyrocketed this year. So even though this is fresh off the presses, the prices are probably a little lower than what you're going to be seeing just because of the recent price jump. Anyway, that's number 1 on my list, Paper Money of the United States. If you learned anything new from this list, please give me a like. If you agree with my list, let me know down in the comments. If there was a book that I should have that I didn't put out here, let me know and let everybody else know who watches this. That way they can also upgrade their reference collection as well. Once again, thank you, Gina R., for suggesting this list. I was glad that I could show some of my newer books. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have an idea for a top 10 list, leave that in the comments. I will see if I can make it happen. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you again next week.